how can we contribute to hope and healing? And Renee, would you kick us off here?
Well, a couple of things that we do as a LOFT team is we like to, we host a volleyball scramble every year. It's the third year. This coming year will actually be the fourth year. And it's just not only a fundraiser for local outreach to suicide survivors, but it's just a day-long event where we can connect with community and other survivors. This past year, we had a group of high school kids play, and it was just a blast. It's just a way of, I guess, that hope and healing message that's kind of been said several times here tonight. It's just a great way to not only, fundraise, but also create awareness about suicide prevention and also provide that hope and healing to the community as well. The Saturday before Thanksgiving is International Survivors of Suicide Day, and we always have a balloon launch at Harmon Park, and this would be upcoming our fourth year doing a balloon launch and invite survivors to come and connect with each other and share stories about their loved ones, and that's always a real, I think, a spiritual and just real comforting event that we host each year. The American Foundation Suicide Prevention Out of Darkness Walk will take place in Omaha on September 10th. And there's also a Nebraska Lost Conference was held this last weekend in Omaha, provided our Lost team members and Lost team members across the state additional training with Dr. Meyer, Dr. Belon, Dr. Frank Campbell, the founder of Lost, who is here from Louisiana, by the way. So we always just kind of provide those functions and events that invite the community in to, I guess, just be together as a community and just offer those messages of healing and hope and just being together as survivors and people that are, concerned for the community.
I would just like to continue to encourage everybody to seek out resources to gain information and knowledge about what our community is doing and how you can be a part of that. We have wonderful things going on at Buffalo County Partners, and invite you that if you're interested to be a part of that. We have our Health and Minds Collaborative, which was formed to focus on our behavioral health needs here in Buffalo County. We have an early childhood behavioral group called Rooted in Relationships that's working on some really great things. We have our Suicide Prevention Coalition. And so if you're interested in being a part of any of those, I encourage you to stop out of the booth and connect with one of us to make sure that you get your information. There's other great community events. Give Where You Live is a community-wide event that anybody can be a part of that helps support our area providers and behavioral health needs. And I also at this time just kind of wanted to give a thank you out to Buffalo County Partners and all the board members that have really been working to be very proactive at looking at our current behavioral health needs here in Buffalo County.
I'd like to encourage everyone just to take a look at themselves. Take care of yourself first. There are a lot of people in here, and I'll guarantee you there's people in here tonight that suffer from anxiety, that suffer from depression, and they do it quietly. Nobody knows. Don't be afraid to seek help. It does get better. It can get better. That's my message of hope, is that it doesn't have to be a life sentence. Get it treated. Take note and pay attention to others. When you see somebody else hurting, ask them if you can help. Talk to them. Ask them if it's okay if you talk to them. So many people are just waiting for somebody to notice. So be that person. And if it's you, take care of yourself. Because there's a lot of people that suffer from this. It's not uncommon.
And I think from the school perspective, I would say our message of hope and healing is we love our kids. I mean, that's what it really boils down to. We love our families, we love our kids. We got into education because we care about kids. And we want to partner, and we do partner with all of these entities at the table. We do our best to partner with our families. I think that open communication is so important, and so, you know, we want to know if you're worried about your child or if you're a student here tonight. We want to know if you need to talk to somebody or you need help. I think that's our biggest message, is we all care about each other in this community and in the school community, and we're working on all of this together. So I think that brings a sense of hope.
The question is, how can you contribute to hope and healing? I want to give that back to you. How can you contribute to hope and healing? And think about the things that you heard tonight. And what are those things that drive you? What are those things that motivate you? What are those things that you're passionate about? How is it that you're going to help the next person? Whether that be through a suicide prevention effort, through the awareness walk, or just through making a difference in someone's life. How can we build the assets in our kids and our young people? But I think it comes down to you. What are you passionate about? And what are those things that you want to do? What are those things that motivate you? And those are the things that are going to promote hope and healing in our community and promote hope and healing within yourselves.
Real quickly, I just wanted to, again, thank you all for being here, because I think this is another step in continuing to heal and recover as a community. As a lifelong community member, I grew up in Kearney, went to college in Kearney, came back to Kearney twice after college. I want to say I'm invested, and I know all of you are invested, or you wouldn't be here. Pull those people in, leave here. What can we do? We can take this message and spread it. Who will you talk to about this event? Can each of you make a commitment right now that it doesn't just stay here? Think of somebody right now that you will commit to, at least one person, to talk about the resources that are available, that you'll hand them a packet so that they will have information and be able to have evidence-based knowledge about safe messaging or what resources are available. The other thing we can do is commit to one event. Many events have been mentioned up here. The resources are through the website with Buffalo County Community Partners and Region 3. Commit to one event this year, and that's being active, it's being engaged, it's doing something. So if you want to do something, one, you're here, and two, is commit to talking, communicating, spreading safe messages, and attend at least one event about mental health, about suicide awareness this year.
So if the question is what can we do to contribute to hope and healing, I would say for all of us, Jason said it really well, but it's all about emotional assets. It's who in your life is an emotional asset. And certainly when you're 17 or 18 years old, you need a lot of emotional assets. So as a parent, certainly don't do anything other than encourage them to accumulate emotional assets. And Bridget and I never went looking to be in any sort of youth ministry. It kind of came to us. And from day one and every day since, we've been in over our head, big. And, to use a term that high school kids wouldn't even get, we have a wicked Rolodex of resources. Over the years, we have just had the opportunity to get with the schools in Kearney Police, in the Safe Center, in FAN, and really understand, Kearney is great because of philanthropy. Kearney is also great because we love people. When Melissa Dovish says they love kids, I'm telling you the experience Bridget and I have had is Kearney Public and Kearney Catholic. The reason there's so many of them in the audience right now that work for the schools, and the reason they're in it, is because they love our kids. So when I was saying my bad answer, and then I want to reiterate, get whoever it is to somebody at a school or a clinician or someone that can help. Because this community has an unbelievable network of resources that we discovered years ago. That this panel didn't just put together, these resources get put together in the last 2 months. These resources have been in place for a long time. And I will tell you, I am utterly awed by the education system in Kearney, Nebraska, and how much they truly love our kids. This guy is a well-spoken police officer. He is also not the only well-spoken police officer. Over the years, we have unfortunately been part of a lot of situations where KPD gets involved. And every single time, I have not been disappointed in how the officer deals with it. And when Jason says they don't always have to take some action, I'll tell you a lot of times what it is the guys in blue caring about our kids and what that matters to them. And the love that they show. I was talking to Chief Lynch the other day and I said, hey, you guys aren't all bad, you know? Like, we get this impression that they're tough because they dress like this. But the reality is how much love I've seen these guys demonstrate to our kids is just unbelievable. So the community is fantastic. With that being said, look at y'all, right? It's like speaking to the choir. Why do we even have to talk to you about hope and healing? You all came here. So just like Krista was saying, the fact that you're all here is your part in hope and healing. There's I was supposed to represent the faith community, so I'm going to throw a little bit out too, right? The good book says something like, love your neighbor as yourself. And one of the things that we find quite damaging is that we love our kids as ourselves. We love our kids as ourselves. So we advocate hard for them on the playing field, on the volleyball court, on the basketball court, in the classroom. We advocate hard for our kids. And a lot of times that comes off as being pretty destructive to the other adult trying to instruct our kid. And the other thing it does is when you're advocating for your kid against another kid, that can look like bullying. And imagine if that person, that kid, has another parent that advocates for them, great. But what if they don't? What if that's the kid who's just trying to make it through the day? They're doing the best they can at whatever it is they're doing on the soccer field or the basketball court. And you, being a good parent, are advocating for your kid's playing time against a kid that doesn't have that going for him. So I guess I do have the challenge to say, love your neighbor as yourself. Like Jason said, ask other people. Don't get so fixated on the nuclear family. It's great. You're great parents. That's why you're here. You're great guardians. You're great community members. And you care about your family. But put your head up and look around. There's a lot of people in this community hurting that maybe don't have that structure. And what you could do to just ask is unbelievable. So then my last thing is, it blows me away. When you talk to adolescents about Christianity, I guess, a lot of times it circles around to Corinthians 13:13. That one that says, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. You know, one of the things Bridget and I talk about a lot is hope. Where's the hope? Seems to me like the hope is in this room. So for all of you being here, there's hope in this community. This is a wonderful community. But right here's a nucleus of hope. So thank you and bless you all for being here.
Yes, thank you very much. So those several really beautiful themes that emerged for me, this idea of all in this together. We've learned about safe messaging, that there's no shame in seeking help. And this is a community that is rich in resources. And so some of those themes kind of emerged for me.